So if somebody does a water fast, can they drink juice, coffee, tea, and soft drinks? What is your opinion on that?
Soft drinks for sure, no.
Yeah.
And you said a water fast, so I mean that kind of
I
sums
know
it up.
nowadays when people say water fast, it includes a
Yeah.
lot of things. I heard one person say if it goes through the straw, it's under the law. So
Oh, that's funny.
I'm like,
That
but
is funny.
you can grind a burger.
Yeah. Well, and that's why when I tell people I didn't do a 40-day only water fast, I think you actually did. If I had to have a little bit to get through, 3 hours of preaching, 3 services, it was, and so there's a few times where I had to, but I'm just going to tell everybody the information, then they can do with it what they think is best. If you're doing it for spiritual reasons or you're doing it for physical reasons, you want to stay in autophagy and ketosis as long as possible. So no, you can't drink juice. That's glucose. I'm sorry, that's fructose, that's why I don't really agree with the juice diets. I would say eat a grapefruit. Don't juice, 6 of them or orange, because you're getting so much sugar in. The body wasn't designed to eat, a pound of grapes and a pound of carrots and 14 apples. All that sugar is just, it's not really good. If you're going to do anything, juice some green veggies, maybe with a half apple, just really light on the sugar. But no, juicing is calories, Coke is calories, even Diet Coke, the aspartame, the sweetener is not good for you. If it's tea, I would choose organic herbal tea with nothing in it. There's no calories. But the reason, like fasting experts, right? These gurus will say nothing at all, because even the herbal tea or decaf coffee has no calories. But what about all the potassium and the different nutrients that are kind of coming into play there? So it depends how extreme a person wants to get. I know for me, I just like to do water and it's easier that way, isn't it? Because if you start, well, can I have a little bit of herbal tea? Can I have some decaf? What about if I put a little bit of creamer in my decaf? And then you start, all these little compromises are going on.
It takes so much time to now begin to find them, begin to figure out, is this good for you? And then you always want to push the envelope, get a little bit more. And what about, and I know you probably have experienced this about sleeping. A lot of times when I would do a water fast or would do a fast without food, I would sometimes somewhere in the middle of a 21 day, I would start experiencing this insomnia for like a day or two. And is that normal?
Yeah, it's normal. And I even tell people, if they're going to fast, maybe plan on taking some vacation time off of work, get to where because the environment, the atmosphere, I can't believe you traveled to Ukraine. I mean, that would be impossible for me. I need somewhere quiet, and because I've got 5 kids at home. Yeah, that's really normal. I've known many people who quit fasting because I need to get more sleep. Actually, your body knows what it's doing. The reason we need a lot of sleep sometimes is we need more recovery. That's what sleep does. I don't know if people know that, but you're not building muscle in the gym, you're breaking it down. And then when you sleep, it rebuilds and it recovers. Same thing with, we're in a fast while we sleep until we have break fast, the breakfast. So sleep, REM, especially deep REM sleep, is where all the healing takes place, neurotransmitters, regeneration in the mind. Sleep is so incredible. But if you're only getting 4 hours or 5 hours, your body's like, okay, I'm ready, it's good. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I know some people take like valerian root, that's kind of good to help them sleep. But the reason they don't sleep too, especially I remember on my first 7-day fast, the first couple of nights, I was like looking at the ceiling till midnight. And it's because though a lot of the hormones are increasing, adrenaline's increasing, growth hormones increasing, the body's just and so you're not going to be that tired. But then there's other times where by 7 p.m. I can just go to sleep, and I sleep like a baby for 9 hours. So the body knows. But then the next night I'm up at 1:30. I maybe get 4.5 hours of sleep. You have to plan on that, be prepared for that.
You also alluded to this earlier, that sometimes during fasting, we experience very interesting emotions. Yes. Our emotions are all over the place. I remember first time that it happened to me, I actually almost broke the fast because I was moody, cranky, I was easily irritated. And I was thinking, man, I'm ruining my fast by, having all of these emotions. I should be like a dove, gentle, nice, and kind, and I'm all like almost snappy. And I find it interesting, in the Old Testament it says that fasting, when it speaks of fasting on a Day of Atonement, it says it's a day to afflict your soul. I never thought about that. I was always thinking, fasting is to afflict your body, but in reality there is something that's happening with your soul. Can you speak a little bit about into that emotional experience of fasting?
Yeah, and I want to encourage people, if you're not feeling that great and emotionally you're not feeling that great, be encouraged, because you're actually healing. You're getting it's a healing crisis is taking place.
Mm.
So you might even be healed emotionally. I've known people who've been healed and set free. Bitterness and anger and unforgiveness and as these emotions are coming out. So of course I'm not an expert in this and the Bible isn't crystal clear, but my thought is the flesh gets angry, right? When it can't have what it wants. And so, man, I can't have food. I can't eat dinner tonight. And you're restraining the flesh. You're resisting it. Well, it's not happy about that. And so some things come out. I remember I was mad I couldn't eat. I mean, I was legitimately mad I could not eat. I don't know if you've ever been there either. And the interesting thing about the mind, a lot of people don't know that they're finding that a lot of our emotions, serotonin, and these feel-good emotions, different things are directly affected by our gut bacteria, our microbiome, and things. And so when our body's changing and shifting, also the hormones are going to be because that's what emotions are. Serotonin, right? These hormones that are released by the body to feel good. And so when the whole body there's an upheaval and healing's taking place, then these emotions are just going to come out. It's a byproduct of the body resetting and healing. I wish I could. I'm telling you, fasting, I mean, there's some incredible days. I will not, those days, those mornings I get up and I just put on worship, I begin crying. Oh, yeah. I end up on the floor and I'm just weeping, crying out to God and like hour and a half, 2 hours go by. And then there's other mornings, I don't even want to open the Bible. I'm like, I'm just so ticked off this morning. Golly, I'm in a bad mood. And man, and so your first thought is, I'm just going to eat something. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is not helping anybody.
No, this is not helping anybody.
Fasting? Yeah, but
if you can press through those things, and see, isn't that faith?
Yeah.
I begin to realize that if I always felt great, it would be easy. Yeah. But my faith is challenged. My commitment to fast, Jensen Franklin calls it the power of the made up mind. But Lord, I'm stepping out in faith. I don't feel good. And actually that takes more faith to me because in spite of how I feel, I'm going to trust you. And Lord, I just want to seek you, God. Would you pour into me again? Yeah. And you begin to press in even when you don't feel like it's powerful.
Yeah.